Yeah, let's get into it. Welcome, this is the Mobile Focus channel. I am Jure, and that is an iPhone 11 Pro Max. Now, I know you're wondering about the mysterious title that's above this video, but I'm very sure that even if you are a novice or a veteran in the mobile phone making game, this product that I'm going to show you is going to blow your mind. And it's the Mobile Pro phone cage from SmallRIG. Yeah, that's right, SmallRIG. That company that makes all the camera cages and the accessories for actual cameras. They got into the smartphone game and they knocked it out of the park. Let's dive right in. So with this smartphone cage, you are able to do just about anything in the smartphone filmmaking world. Now, we've seen a lot of different attempts, call them attempts. We've seen a lot of different manufacturers, especially make good cases like Helium Core or Helium Cine is the manufacturer's name. We have cages from Beast Cage, you know, that very big player in the space. And we also have even smaller players like Ulanzi and even making cases for smartphones, especially for iPhones. What makes this cage different than all those cages is that it takes all the best things from each and every cage and it just kind of melts it down into just the best of all worlds. Both worlds? 3 worlds? Best of all worlds for a smartphone cage. Now, what SmallRIG was able to do here with this cage just blows my mind. It seems like the features that it packs and all the things that go along with it just shouldn't be included, especially for this price point. Because remember, guys, this cage goes for about half the price of those other cages, except the Ulanzi, which is actually a really good price and a really good deal. But as far as the cages like the Helium Cine and the Beast Cage, this goes for about half the price. And at this price point, I'm completely blown away. So enough of me rambling, let's go ahead and dive right into this cage and show you exactly why it's so good. Greeted with the actual pretty bone stock just case here. We're just saying, hey, this is Pro cage. It's for the iPhone X and XS. And then there is the made by SmallRIG. Let's go ahead and get inside of the box and we'll see we are greeted with some text from SmallRIG saying, you support and trust drive us to create more innovative products. Stay tuned. Tiny bit of broken English, but you know what? I've seen a lot worse from Chinese and Asian manufacturers. So let's go ahead and let me get that right. Now, as we open and get into it, you notice that the lattice structure and just how unique this cage looks. Now, this is definitely going to turn heads if you just have it on your phone. If you're just walking around, if you're in a party, or if you're on the street, you're definitely going to turn heads with this design. And this is not a skin. This is not a decal. This is all machined out of the metal. So I can put my finger right through it and just nothing to it. And it is super sturdy. So we just give a little close up on that, how the cage looks. And let's get back into it. This cage is built very well and very robust. I have no worries about if this cage or anything's gonna snap off, or if you have any worries about, oh, if I tighten the lens too tight, is it gonna ruin? Because it is all metal. Now, compared to something like the Moment case that we have here on my Pixel 2 XL, you can see that it is plastic, and this is a case that you're supposed to, you know, carry around with you all the time. So it's not supposed to be hard metal. It's not supposed to be just the toughest grit things, but was that a thing? Just the toughest grit? That's what people say? No, it's not supposed to be a cage that you're supposed to attach or basically able to chuck it down a river or chuck it down a cliff or chuck it off a cliff and it's supposed to survive. This case is supposed to be with you all the time and it looks very good. I love the design of the Moment cases. I actually have them on a lot of my phones at the moment, including the Samsung Galaxy S9 that's shooting us right now from above. Hey, hi. But this is on a whole nother level. This right here is if you're getting serious with filmmaking, if you're going to actually filmmaking and photography and photo and video and filmmaking and interview and vlogging and live streaming, all of that stuff. So if you're getting actually serious with any kind of filmmaking, or if you're just curious to see like, hey, how can I get the best footage out of my smartphone? Well, look no further. I think this cage is going to be all end all, especially if you have an iPhone XS. So let's just go around the cage and talk about all the features that it does include. Now you see it does have a sort of a Triforce looking mount on the back, and we're going to get to that just in a minute. But first, we're going to talk about the quarter 20 mounts on the top, as well as you see like a bit of a rail system, and that is for the locking connector that SmallRIG accessories can lock onto or connect to this cage. Because yes, not only did they make a smartphone case, they also made a lot of accessories to go with it. So they was not playing around when they made and got into the smartphone business. They was not playing around when they got into the smartphone business. They said like, hey, if we're gonna go into it, we're gonna go, and we're gonna go hard. So not only do we have the quarter 20 mounts, we have about 4 of those right here. We do have the locking screw, which actually keeps the phone in place inside of the cage. We go on the bottom, we have 2 more quarter 20s, as well as a lanyard port to strap wrist straps to you or yourself to attach a wrist strap here. And then we have just a plethora of quarter 20s on the top for mounting basically anything you would need. If you wanted to mount any kind of monitors, if you wanted to mount any kind of cold shoe adapters, if you wanted to mount basically anything you wanted to mount to like a regular camera cage, you can mount to this cage. Now we go on the top, we have more quarter 20s, as well as I forgot to mention that it does have the cold shoe on this side. So now if you flip around to the back, you see this like kind of infinity sign, kind of figure eight type of dealio going on back here. And what this is actually the most innovative part of this cage. Actually, is it the most innovative? No, it's the second most innovative part of this cage. And these are 2 37mm mounts. Now we've seen these a lot from the Helium Cine cases and the Beast Grip cages. But what this cage does and what it includes is something very special, which we're gonna have to dive right back into the box to show. Now what we have here is these 2 discs. Well, these are more than just discs, and what these are adapters. And first I'll show you that these is the 37mm to 17mm mount. So this will do a lot of your apexel lenses, your case lenses, your Ulanzi lenses, a lot of lenses on the market. But you'd be like, hey, 17mm, that's a little universal standard. What about moment lenses? Bam. They also include an adapter from 37mm to bayonet adapter. Now this is not just for moment lenses, you can use SOOO lenses. I think even Sanmark lenses use this adapter, but this adapter for the bayonet coupled with a 17mm and the 37mm in total means that you can use virtually any smartphone lens you can get your hands on with this cage, which I think is just beautiful. It gives you the freedom of choice with this cage. If you wanted to, hey, I like moment lenses, or I like Sanmark lenses, or I like you can't use Beast Grip lenses because they're kind of proprietary, but you can use Ulanzi lenses, you can use Apexel lenses, you can use any type of lenses here. So if you want to use Apexel lenses, or if you want to use SOOO lenses, you have the choice to do so. And I'll just go ahead and stack these right here. You can even use obscure lenses like this Japanese lens I have bought for it. It's a 37mm mount lens that was originally meant for a camcorder, but it does work and fit on the SmallRIG cage. Give you a little look, see? Put that over the camera. Yeah, that does something funky with the lens. But we can attach any type of lens to this case, and it'll just be like, yep, sure, no problem, just bring it on in here. And I think that's why I love so much about this case, is that it gives you the freedom of choice. It doesn't lock you into using SmallRIG lenses, which they actually did make 2 different lenses for this case. So yeah, they actually are serious about this smartphone filmmaking. But you can attach anything you want. I think having the freedom to choose what type of lenses you are, and it's like, hey, they're not trying to lock you in or try to keep you in their ecosystem, really shows that they understand who filmmakers are, and they understand that you want to be able to use what you like. Don't lock me into something, use what I like to use. So I think that is beautiful. So what we're gonna do here is just bring this back. We're gonna go into is just how easy it is to put in to the case. But before we talk about that, we have to talk about how we used to do it before in slightly different cases. So right here we have the Helium core, the iPhone 8. Now before, a lot of times if you wanted to install your iPhone, if you want to put in the cage, which nothing wrong with this cage, I mean, it is super well built, nothing at all wrong with this cage. It's just a bit too bulky in my opinion. It's too big. It's just too big to do anything with it, and for the features that it offers, for the price point, I feel like Helium Cine really needs to remake their cases in a bit of a better way, since I don't know. So let's just talk about exactly how you put your iPhone in here. So you have these 4 screws. Now these screws you have to take out. Let's just take these screws out. There. Now that the screws are out, you can now kind of push the front out, take that out, and then take your iPhone out. Bam. So that'll be actually pretty good. And it actually does secure your iPhone pretty well. I have no problems feeling that the iPhone's gonna break or is gonna clamp down on it and actually ruin anything. But you see how long it takes to take this, and then you have to put that on, and then you have to screw in each of the 4 screws. Bam. And then you finally have it in there, but that takes forever long, and especially when you're trying to get up and go somewhere, you really want to just be able to just like clamp, bam, boom, bam, slim, boom, bam, right out of there. So I just picked on Helium Cine because it's the worst offender here. There are better cases from like Ulanzi and Beast Case that is a slightly faster way, but this is traditionally how smartphone cages used to be set up. So this versus how the SmallRIG phone is set up. And we're gonna need our phone here, which is the iPhone XS. No problems here, the iPhone XS. And what we're gonna do is, actually, let's go ahead and make it a little bit of fun. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put on the timer how fast it takes to put in this lens. Actually, that's gonna be too easy because I know how easy it is. So let's make it a little more difficult. Let's bring in an adapter and let's get a lens. Just gonna grab the serial lens here. Let's go with the macro doesn't get enough love. Let me go with the macro lens here. So now we have the macro lens, the bayonet adapter, the SmallRIG cage, and the iPhone. We're gonna see just how fast this is to set up the iPhone from nothing to fully built versus the Helium Cine or any other cages. So let's put a clock on the timer. Is that how you say it? Just put a timer on the clock, or you know what? Just you know what to do. Just do that, and let's see. 3, 2, 1. Screw that down. Get this into place. Bam. Bam, and you're done. I think that was what, under 10 seconds? Had to be under at least 10 seconds or maybe 15 seconds at most, but it is nothing to it. It is super fast, and this, super stable. That's not going anywhere, and it's not gonna fly out, and you don't have to worry about the iPhone breaking or any type of other nonsense. So that's what I absolutely love about this cage system. It's so quick and easy to set up, and you just like, hey, I want to go and shoot something quick, bam, bam. You can practically pull it out and take a shot before the shot leaves. Oh, that's good, that's good. Now that we have the SmallRIG cage all nice and set up, what we're gonna have to do now is just go outside and actually show you exactly why I fell in love with this cage. So let's go ahead and do that, shall we? Yeah, I think we're gonna start here for the cinematic video. Ooh, it's changing colors too?